If you clicked on this video, you probably are feeling a very similar way to me right now, which is kind of behind or struggling to make a plan for the new year, if you can even call it that at this point. We are just finishing up the first month of 2024. January has flown by already. I never quite got around to making any New Year's resolutions, making any goals for the year, planning for the year. And I woke up this morning and decided that had to change. So I'm making this video for anyone who just feels like they're a little behind this year. Like if you feel like you are a little behind in setting goals for yourself or making a healthy routine for this year, or if you just never really got around to setting yourself up for success, this video is for you because I am that person as well, and this video is also for me. Ever since the new year started, I've been feeling a little bit out of it. 2023 was kind of a tough year for me, but I went into it very optimistically. I checked all my boxes, I made all my goals, I made all my plans, and felt like I did everything right at the beginning of the year. And then kind of month 2, everything kind of spiraled downhill and went out of my control. And all the goals I set for myself kind of went out the window, and everything kind of changed that I was working on last year, which is fine. Goals can change, dreams can change, anything can change anytime you really want it to or need it to. But I think that kind of discouraged me from setting goals at the beginning of this year, because last year kind of felt like such a chaotic shit show, for lack of a better term, that this year I was like, okay, what's the point of even setting goals? But now we are 30 days into the year, and I realized there is a purpose in setting goals, and it's kind of an important thing to do, and you're not gonna be able to track your progress or grow if you don't set goals and aspirations for yourself. So I woke up this morning and decided it's time to make a change. Even though the new year is a great time to set new goals for yourself and really evaluate what you want out of your year and out of your life, it's not mandatory. Just because you feel like you didn't set everything up perfectly from day one doesn't mean that the whole year is out the window. I am very much like that. If I have a bad Monday, the rest of the week is garbage. I am so bad at that. That is a bad habit that I have, that if it's not perfect on day one, I kind of just feel out of whack the rest of the week or the rest of the year. But we are changing our mindset, and we are no longer thinking that way. So whether you're watching this in February when I'm posting it, or you're watching it in the middle of the year, I feel like there are some resourceful things you can do to kind of regroup, set new intentions, and move forward with your goals and everything you want to accomplish. So if you're feeling behind, or if you're struggling right now, you are not alone. I am with you, and we're gonna fix it. So let's jump into it. Also, if you're new here, my name's Alexis. I'm 26, I live in New York City, and this channel is mainly a lifestyle and blog channel. I sprinkle in plan with me's and YouTube tip videos here and there, but at my core, I'm a vlogger. YouTube has been my full-time job for a year now. We just passed my 1-year anniversary of doing YouTube full-time. So when I talk about anything career-related or job-related, I am mainly either talking about YouTube or I'm also an actor. So I have a lot of dancing and singing and goals like that as well. I have done a plan with me every month since September of 2021. I did not do a January plan with me for 2024. That's kind of where the inspiration for this video hit, because I was just feeling so overwhelmed and so behind. I felt like I genuinely could not put out a plan with me video because I just felt like a mess. I felt like, what's the point of posting? I feel like a mess. This isn't gonna help anybody. So in lieu of my February plan with me video, we're doing this, and then hopefully next month we'll be back on track with my regularly scheduled plan with me's. I have a few different chunks that I want to break up this video into. The first one being reflection, the second one being planning goals, the third one being utilizing a planner, and the fourth one being a vision board. Pausing here for a second, I don't know why I didn't mention this in the video, but if you want to plan along with me, I have a Notion template in the description that you can download that you can do all the reflections, goal setting, vision board, all of that along with me. So if you want to plan along with me, go ahead and download that. It's totally free. The only thing I ask in return is that if you haven't yet, please take a second, subscribe to my channel, and let's continue on with the video. I feel like the best way to set new goals is to kind of reflect on your old goals and your old achievements and accomplishments and figure out what went right, what went wrong, and where you want to go from there. We have to reflect to move forward. And once again, if you're watching this later in the year and you're just needing a reset, you don't necessarily have to reflect on 2023 or last year. You can reflect on the past 6 months or the past 3 months. I feel like asking yourself reflective questions every once in a while is always a good thing. So it doesn't really matter what time of the year it is, because it's always good to have a reflection on the previous few months. In my case though, we are going to reflect on 2023 as a whole, just because that is what's going to be most helpful to me. I scoured the internet, looked at blogs, looked at videos, and tried to pick the best. How many questions do I have? 9, 10. I didn't even mean to do 10, so I love it when it works out like that. I picked 10 questions that I thought were going to be the most insightful to me and give me the most information about how my year went. First one was, what was the theme of last year? I feel like each year has like a category in my brain. When I think of like past years, I can kind of simplify it with a word or two to sum up the theme of the year. Last year, the theme was transitional. That was the theme. My friend Emily actually gave me this word literally at the beginning of last year. Things started out pretty rocky in my year in like February and March, and she immediately told me, she was like, this is a transitional year. You're gonna feel unsteady this entire year because it's transitioning you into the life that you want and the life that you need. So I kind of stuck with that, and as the year unfolded, it was very much a transitional year. Last year was probably the most uncomfortable year of my life. I had to do a lot of things I didn't want to do. I had to deal with a lot of things I didn't want to deal with. And I just felt like I was on the verge of so much change. I was having so much change thrown at me that I did not have a choice. I did not have a say. It was just happening to me, and I kind of had to roll with the punches. Next question is, what were my top 5 lessons? First lesson, I would say community is important. I kind of have always had a me against the world attitude, and last year I finally realized that you are the people you hang out with and the people you surround yourself with, and when times are tough, you want to make sure that you have surrounded yourself with the best people you possibly can. And I was lucky enough to realize I have surrounded myself with some amazing people, and I think I kind of took that for granted before, and it's something I'll never take for granted again. Do what makes you happy. I spent almost 3 years doing a job that did not make me happy at all. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't like because you need to for financial reasons or just because life happens. But I was working a job I really didn't like for the better part of 2.5 years, and I did not know where to go from there, and I was very nervous to quit. Luckily, the universe kind of gave me that shove, and I got laid off right before 2023 started, so I was kind of forced into doing something different. But last year was such a good year because I really invested time in doing things that made me happy. And with that, I'm gonna say the third lesson I learned was take a chance on yourself. When I got laid off from that job, I decided to take the leap and do YouTube full time. And I always told myself, if I start to financially struggle or I don't think it's working out, I'll always go and get another job. But I decided to take that chance on myself, and I was able to support myself the entire year. So I kind of learned, if you bet on yourself and you put in the work, it usually works out. That kind of lasted the entire year. There was a lot of change last year. Number 4, I'm gonna say be careful with what you put your energy toward. I think I spent a lot of time last year focusing my energy and my time on things that did not deserve my attention at all. All that does is waste your time and make you upset, when you could just be working on other things and paying attention to things that are going to make your life better. And my 5th thing I learned was that you can be independent without shutting yourself away from the world. I feel like people put a lot of emphasis on the concept of being independent, and people think that means like doing everything by yourself, always being alone, which I did a lot of that living in a studio apartment for the better part of the year. I was always doing things by myself. I was always doing things alone. But I think there's a difference between being independent and knowing that you can function on your own and do things on your own, and shutting yourself away from the world. I think I did a lot of shutting myself away from the world in my apartment just because I just never felt like leaving, and it was easy to just do things by myself. But back to the first thing, community being important. It really is, and I don't think there's really anything wrong with having people to lean on and having a community. And I think I kind of had to learn that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to surround yourself with people and do things with other people. You don't always have to do things alone. We're not going to go through all of these together, but these are questions that you can answer on your own. But the other questions to reflect on are, what did I do for the first time in the past year? What was my biggest career accomplishment? What was the biggest mistake of the year and the lesson I learned because of it? What was the most fun I had in the past year? What challenges did I face last year? What did you spend too much time or energy on? What new habit or routine did you create this year? And what are 3 words to describe the past year? So there are 2 different things that I want to do when it comes to setting goals for the new year. And the first exercise, I guess, can be very informative of what goals you actually want to set. So I wrote a paragraph of what my successful 2024 looked like, writing it in past tense of all of the things that I got accomplished in 2024. So these are like aspirations, things that I want to get done this year. But if you do this, you're gonna write in a paragraph definitively of everything that happened. So like this year, I gained 100,000 subscribers and I was on Broadway, you know, something like that, where you put those goals into writing and you write them as if they've happened. Because it's kind of training your mind and training your brain that these things are actually possible. So once you write what your successful 2024 will look like, kind of pick out in there what are the things that you said you've accomplished, what are the things that you said happened, and how can you work toward those things. So after you write that paragraph, you're gonna set goals. I broke it up into career, social and lifestyle, and health, and then I set 5 goals for each category. I think it's important to have goals in each aspect of your life. But here's the twist. You're not just going to set a goal and move on, because I did that last year, and let me tell you, I did not get everything accomplished that I wanted. You're gonna set the goal, and then after that, you're gonna write 1 to 3 actionable items that are going to help you actually achieve this goal. So you kind of have a mini plan to start working toward the goal. So for career, my first goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers. And my actionable items for this are to post consistently, come up with new ideas, and engage with my community more. Obviously, there's a lot more work and ideas that go into this, but these are just like little starter points on ways I can do that. So my second goal for career is perform in a show, and my actionable items are to actively audition, make connections through class and friends, and show up even when I think the odds are impossible. Number 3, create another profitable platform. My actionable items are brainstorm what I'm good at besides making videos and get interest from audience. So would my audience be interested in things like a podcast or merch or a Patreon? Number 4, I want to host a live event. So the steps for that are to find a venue and premise for the event and plan what people would want to do in real life. And then my final goal for the year is take more class. So my actionable items are actually sign up, ask friends and peers what classes they take, and to make a schedule at the beginning of the week what classes I'm going to take. For life and social, my first one is expand my social circles, and my actionable items are actually follow up with people when you say let's go grab coffee, reach out to others with similar interests, and make more plans. My second goal is to have hobbies, and my steps for that are give time to do things for fun, explore new things, and continue to learn how to do the things that already are my hobbies. So these are crochet, knit, play piano. I recently started crocheting. I'm obsessed. Number 3 is keep an organized space. And my actionable items for that are tidy up every night before bed and create organizational systems that actually work. I feel like a lot of times when you do like a big deep clean, you set things up in a way that you'll never be able to recreate. I need to come up with a way to keep all of my clothes folded and organized that I can actually maintain because my drawers get scary. Number 4, stick to a healthy and productive routine. And my items are make it realistic, set wake up times and bedtimes, and the 80-20 rule. You can let go and have fun and stay out late if the other 80% of the time you're going to bed early and taking care of yourself and eating well, you know, that kind of thing. And my 5th goal is get involved in my community, and my items for this are volunteer in my neighborhood and join a club or a group. And then lastly, I have my health goals, which first one is get a therapist, and my actionable item for that is just get one. I always put that off, finding a new therapist. Second goal is have a consistent workout schedule. So my actionable items are find accountability. So this is like an app, a trainer, go with friends. Right now I've been using the Alive app for the last 3 weeks. And also don't ask yourself if you want to go, just go. I saw a video the other day of someone being like, do you really think people that go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m. want to go? No, they just wake up and they go. That's a good point. I should just wake up and go because I always feel happy once I'm there and I always feel amazing after I leave. Third goal is to eat 3 balanced meals a day. Ever since I stopped working my full-time job, I make my own schedule and it's not as consistent as working a 9 to 5 would be. So I have kind of struggled having 3 even meals each day. I either kind of have a bad breakfast or I skip lunch, and I love eating 3 meals a day. Like that keeps me on track. So my actionable items are committing to breakfast, lunch, and dinner and waking up at a time that you can eat all 3. Simple enough. Number 4 is less screen time. So find more activities that don't involve a screen, read books more, and go outside more. And then my 5th goal is to just relax. So that's give myself more self-care, don't stress or micromanage the small things. I get really worked up about random little things. I obsess over things. I get very in my head about things. And I think instead of saying self-care is like me scrolling on my phone for an hour, maybe self-care is me stretching. Maybe self-care is me getting a massage. You know, like it's things that are more actively self-care, not me just like laying in bed on my phone. So those are my goals I have for this year. I don't really think any of these are too crazy. I feel like every year I set a goal and I'm like, go on 10 trips around the country. And it's like, okay, realistically, when are you going to actually do that and get that done? You're not. But all of these seem like very achievable things I can do. So I'm excited and looking forward to kind of working toward these. So if you are familiar with my channel and with my Plan With Me's, I use Notion a lot to plan my months. And I have decided to kind of change up how I'm planning my months from now on. So I'm still gonna use Notion to track things like my Instagram and YouTube analytics and long-term things, but I think day to day, I need a planner. I just find it's not realistic for me to track daily things on my computer. I think if this is just sitting out on my desk every day, I'm gonna be more inclined to actually track daily things. We'll see. We're gonna try. I feel like I go back and forth between, do I do stuff online? Do I do stuff in a written planner? I'm still kind of working on finding the right system for me, but I'm feeling optimistic with this. And I think I just wanna do a planner for daily planning because I think it's better to focus. I get very distracted when I'm on my computer because I just get a million ideas and I'm searching things and I'm trying to do a million things. It's like, this is all you can do. All you can do in your planner is do what the planner is meant to do. I think physically writing things down is good for my brain. It helps me remember better. And I think it's just gonna help me be a little more organized when it comes to planning. So this is the Daily Planner from Dream Daily. This is Hannah Ashton's planner brand, and she's so kind to give me one. And it is like the most stunning planner I have ever seen in my life. So I'm kind of feeling very good that this is going to be the planner that's actually gonna make me organized. This is a 6-month planner. You can write in the dates yourself. So we're able to start it in February because we missed the mark with January, which I love. So it's not gonna make me feel bad that there's like an entire month that's not written in. We can just kind of start from where we're at. Honestly, that is a good thing for me to remember for this year. We're just gonna start where we're at. And you know, now I'm thinking about it, did we even make a theme for this year? I think the theme for 2024 is honestly going to be, we're in bloom. This is the year I'm blooming. Last year was my transitional year. We're moving around, we're setting roots, we're planting seeds. This is gonna be the year that I'm in full bloom. So this planner is split into monthly planning and daily planning. Circle the month you're in, and there's some prompts down here to fill out. We're gonna circle February, and let's look up a calendar. I'm pretty sure the calendar starts on Thursday. Yes. This month's focus is going to be rest and reset. I want to focus on getting into my new routine and kind of working toward my goals and being productive, but I don't want to do it in a way that burns me out because I feel like I always do that. I get so excited and I go crazy and I do like the most and then I can't keep it up. So we're gonna like ease into our routines. So there's a slot for bills to pay, appointments to make, books, movies, TV, and notes, and then you can add a little weekly to-do each week. We have my monthly calendar set up. And now on the next page, there's a place to set monthly goals. There's big goals, mini goals, actionable steps. That is like the keyword of this Plan With Me. You need action to get things done. Projects I want to complete, habits, and the reflections on this page after the month is over. Okay, so my February goals, it's crazy, I haven't even thought about them. Now we can take a monthly goal from a big goal. So I'm gonna say find a therapist because that's been something that's been very important to me that I have just been putting off because I've been a little nervous. So find a therapist. I'm gonna say post 2 videos a week again because I kind of took a break from that in January and I was only posting once a week. And my last goal is going to be to go to an audition. Well, I should specify an in-person audition. Mini goals, we're gonna say keep going to the gym. I'm gonna say drink more tea. I've been kind of slowly drinking a little more tea than coffee, which is shocking. I'm gonna say get coffee with a friend. And then actionable steps, how will I achieve these goals? All 3 of my big goals, the main way I'm going to achieve them is holding myself accountable. Holding myself accountable, baby. Projects that I want to complete this month. I have a money-related YouTube video that I want to film. I want to order a print for behind my bed. And then once we get to the daily planning, I'm going to set an intention each day. I'm going to say some habits I want to do for the day, my priorities for the day. I can put my schedule right here with times, my to-do list, thoughts and ideas I have, and then gratitude and reminders. But we're going to start that on February 1st. Dream Daily. This is the planner. I am very excited to use this. And last but not least, let's talk vision boards. I have made a vision board every year for the past 3 years. I never really do a real one, like where you cut stuff out and you glue it and you look at it. That's never really been my speed. I feel like that's just like a lot of work. I'm a little lazy, you know? And I use my electronics so much that it only makes sense to have it on my electronics. Like right now, it is my phone background. And I make a vision board online using Canva. Here's my vision board here as well. If you don't have a Canva account, I suggest you make it. It's free. I pay for premium, but you can do this on free. And I go to Pinterest and I look up images of things that I want my life to look like for the year. I save it all to its own Pinterest board. And then from there, I save all the pictures out. I upload them into Canva. I place them how I want. And then I add like a filter over it. So usually I just do a square that's translucent. That's like a sage green. That's like my color, if you can't tell. I love sage green. Put a little filter over it to kind of make it uniform. You could also maybe edit it like in a photo app or something. I just make a little thing with pictures of things I want for my life. And then I make it my background. I got a little more specific this year though, because like some people like to add quotes and stuff. I don't usually do that. But last year I put the 100,000 subscriber nameplate on my vision board, but it was someone else's because obviously like I needed a picture of somebody else's. So it was someone else's name on it and it didn't come true. So this year, if I zoom in very close, I edited my name on over it. So we're getting specific. Another thing for your home screen, if you are like trying to find some inspiration, I have the app called I Am. My friend Colton showed it to me last year, and it's little affirmations throughout the day. You can get notifications, or it changes like every hour on your home screen, and it shows you affirmations. So right now, the affirmation that my phone screen is telling me is, I am a magnet for positive experiences. And so right now, it's on my home screen right up here. I think it's great. I think it's nice to have, and it kind of like reaffirms that you're on the right path. The other day I paid a really big bill and I was kind of annoyed about it, and then my phone screen immediately lit up and said, I am financially abundant. Like, it's just like another way to kind of remind yourself you're doing good, you're doing great, and you're full of abundance and you're limitless. I would also recommend that if you want to add another little thing to your home screen if you're using a vision board as your lock screen. And that is everything. That I'm hoping maybe this has helped ease your mind a little bit and helped you kind of set up a system for 2024. I feel like when things feel chaotic or you don't feel put together, it's kind of easy to just live in that. And I think you have a right to live in that for a little bit. Like the first few weeks of the year, I'm kind of like, I feel so behind. I don't know what I'm doing. I think at some point you kind of have to put your foot down and say, okay, we lived in this, we felt it, and now let's move on and pick up the pieces and move forward. I don't identify last year as like the worst year of my life by any means. I would call it the weirdest year of my life by far. But I think the line between like last year and this year felt blurred because like I was still dealing with some things from last year as this year started. I don't know. I just was feeling a little lost. I was feeling not really like myself. And I'm not saying I feel totally back to normal right now because I definitely don't, but I'm feeling a little bit better. And honestly, I feel like that's all we can work toward. It's every day just feeling a little bit better. So my theme of 2024 is my life is in bloom, and all of the things I went through last year, all of the seeds I planted, and every single thing I've done up to this moment has led me to now. And I'm ready to finally just shine and bloom and do everything that I've always wanted to. I think that is my theme. So once again, if you want to fill out these prompts for yourself and set some goals and reflect, I have a little Notion template where I put all this information in that you can download yourself and use. I also have information on how to do the vision board on there. If you want this planner, I have it linked below. That's honestly everything. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up. I hope you have an amazing 2024, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.